Ramsey show over. So I guess that's where I start. Live from Columbus, OH on a July 4th. Happy birthday, America. This is the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. So I guess that's where I start. And audio has been achieved on the YouTubes, which is always a good sign. Some people would say not so much when I'm talking or singing, but it's kind of how it works. I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money, and this is my home page here on the YouTube. And for my financial content, you just scroll past the Oak Island and the Skinwalker Ranch playlists, and you'll see the Ramsey Show Aftershow playlist and the Answering Your Financial Questions with Ramsey Solutions Certified Coach Steve Money, and that is me. And of course, the music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs on there, including such bangers as using the music from The Phrase, How to Save a Life. It's how to do the baby's dibs right. And do we have a market report? I don't remember if we do. Nope, no market report today because it's closed. But I do have an article from the USA Today, which if there was no America, there would be no USA Today probably. Passenger misinterprets seat neighbor's RIP text, forcing flight to divert. Alrighty, and I understand if it was, you would want somebody to say something if it were a legitimate threat. But let's see, what does it say for key points? American Airlines flight returned to San Juan after a passenger reported a perceived threat based on another passenger's text message. Text message containing RIP, which means rest in peace, was misinterpreted as a security risk. Authorities investigated and cleared the aircraft, allowing the flight to eventually depart. All right, and so the guy's probably just messing with his bro. He's probably maybe he is in trouble with his wife or something like that, and he said, rest in peace for that. You know how bros will talk to each other, especially on the text. What do we get here? What was I looking for? The words I was looking for. For exactly what happened. American Airlines passenger snooping on one of their seat neighbors forced the flight to return. So you don't want a Karen to be, by all means, Karens of the world, definitely stop a plane from being blown up or any kind of terrorism. But you don't have to be the keeper of everybody and read everybody's text messages. So, and in some cases like this, they do have where you do false reporting. They have it can be a misdemeanor crime that you can be charged with if you falsely report something. And so, but I guess it's just carte blanche because they do want you to, if you see something, they do want you to say something. But this is just RIP itself is just too general, I think, to freak out about. But that's me. Crumb, don't snoop at other people's phones. Yep. That would never occur to me to do, even if I was sitting right next to a stranger. and they were texting, that would never occur to me to do. I wouldn't even think about it, you know. And then you know, you also might be in the in the way of oh, let's say, shall we say, only doing that on certain people. And we'll leave it at that. But you know, so that wouldn't be good either. So I don't know exactly what to do here, but I mean, when it's, you know, when it's wrong. But of course, if it you know, if it prevented some terrorism, I guess I wouldn't have any problem with it. So probably works both ways there. Let's answer some questions on this July 4th. I believe America's 250th birthday today. If I read the internet, if the internet was correct on what I read. I just saw it on something. I didn't like look for it and say how many years has it been? Was it, let's see, was it 1776? Was that when the Declaration of Independence was? And did we count it from there, or did you count it from the end of the Revolutionary War? So I don't know about that either. But anyway, it's around 250. Broke seller. I have 60K in debt. Okay, well, congratulations in step 2 probably, and what you would do is pay that off. Next, now let's see what it says. I have the debt, but I'm emotionally attached to the 16K in my checking account. Okay, great. So now what you can do is you can follow proven advice to make your finances better, or you can just stay emotionally attached to that 16K in your checking account and be dumb. Obviously there's some kind of issue, or you wouldn't have posted in the Dave Ramsey subreddit. So you just get to make your decision on that. I'd rather pay interest over 20 years on credit cards versus pay them off now. I'm sure it's some mental illness. I am too, but tell me what I should do. You know darn well what you should do. You know darn well, so quit being stupid. Asking what you should do on the Dave Ramsey subreddit, and you're saying you're emotionally attached to it, so you're not doing it. You already said that, so you do know darn well what to do. So shut up and quit being stupid. Do your dumb stuff if you want to. We don't need to know about it. Luthiel the Elf, all right. Investing DCA, which stands for dollar cost averaging, or lump sum, please. Okay, what the dollar cost averaging is when you do exactly what you should do, which is the opposite of lump sum. Oh darn, I should have opened the thing so I can show on the freaking. All right, so do you want to start saving up a lump sum right here and keep saving it and keep saving it and keep saving it and keep saving it, and then only investing the lump sum at the high? Or do you think you want to buy at these lows as you get each individual dollar, or, you know, couple dollars, or whatever you get, whatever you were saving per month for your lump sum? Then you get all these gains. See what I'm saying? So again, quit being dumb, and especially the financial bros that like to justify their debt leveraging and stuff with math. Do the math on this part. And so, yes, that's what you should do. And it also works exactly the same way in reverse for debt paying off. You do not save up a lump sum and then apply to debt. You pay it off as you get the money, and then you end up paying less interest. People are nutty. And so, yeah, dollar cost averaging is what you would do. Hello. I would like to ask for your input, please. Just gave it. A bit curious of what Dave would suggest. You don't know already? I would watch some shows. Something like that. And also, you know what? There's a thing called the Google that knows all of this. And you can also go to RamseySolutions.com and type in whatever is on your mind in the search box, and there's probably an article about it, like a blog post, or I think they call them articles on there. Basically, I have $8,000 euros. Okay, well, that's a problem. I would like to invest in my tax-sheltered investing account, an EU account. Yeah, when with the U.S. stock market being quite high at the moment, I wonder if I should invest all in lump sum or do it in 4 monthly installments of $2,000 each. What do you guys, Dave would say? Think Dave would say. So you shouldn't have had the 8,000. If you get all of that at one time, you can't do anything about that. But if you had saved that up over time, again, you missed out on all this growth, and that was dumb as crap. So quit being dumb. And so now what you would do in this case, you would apply that 8,000 euros to whatever baby step you're on. And so you would have to be on step 7 to do non-retirement account investing. So you're doing probably a number of things wrong, but as far as addressing this dollar cost averaging or lump sum, it's you invest or pay off on step 2 debt, and even the mortgage as you get the extra money. You don't do anything lump sum. That's a NAR. I guess things you set aside a sinking fund for, like vacations and stuff like that. New tires, my favorite example of that. And so that would be a time where you would do that. But that's for like buying something and not investing or paying off stuff. Lucky Mint 1126 beginner. Now what? Well, you start at the beginning. Baby step 0, and that's doing the make sure your 4 walls are in place, getting insurances in place, number thing, budget, getting on the same page with spouse, actually readjusting your outlook on money, your mindset on money as to where you're gonna pay off all your dumbass debt and not take out any more dumbass debt, that kind of thing. That's also where if you bought too much house previously, that's when you would sell it and move down in housing. Don't always have to do that. That's also where you might sell a car too, if that is out of line. If you owe too much on that, if the payment on that is too much per month. Let's see, I have less than $2,000 in personal debt. I have $6,000 in savings. So, all right, beginner, you're doing it wrong. Or if you just don't know, I'll tell you. If you have $2,000 in debt and you have $6,000 in savings, at this point, you no longer have $2,000 in debt and you only have $4,000 in savings. That's how it works. I owe $15,000 for a car, so guess what? You don't get to have $6,000 in savings. You, my pal, even after you pay off the $2,000 in personal debt, you are still in baby step 2. And on baby step 2, guess how much savings we get to have. I wonder if the baby steps clearly and explicitly say the amount, or if we just have to guess. Let's see. No, oh look, hey, it says save $1,000. Does it say add any more to that? It does not. And in this person's case, what was it? $6,000 in savings. It doesn't say, oh, and 5 more. If you feel like it. No, it doesn't say that. And then the next step is paying off all debt with any money you have. That's, not going to needed expenses. 100% needed expenses for baby step 2. Not I want or itching to, like we had a question the other day, itching to upgrade car. No, and he wanted to upgrade to a car that's worth more than half his annual income, and so that's a double no. Doing it wrong. But yeah, so that's $1,000 is all you have, and everything else, even savings. See, and a lot of people probably also, it's dumb, I think, but they probably think that, well, since I had this savings beforehand, it doesn't apply to the baby steps. Oh no, it does. See, what should happen when you start following the Ramsey advice, you undo dumb crap you did, such as save $6,000 while you have debt instead of paying off the debt with it. If you bought a car, if you financed a car that you shouldn't have bought, or even if you paid cash for a very expensive car and you're on step 2, you're not in a position to buy something like that. So you would sell that. So you undo the dumbass crap you've done. If you bought too much house, you sell the house and you rent, or you move down in a house, much cheaper house, one that you can afford. Let's see. 15 grand for a car that I'm financing, upside down on. I don't give a crap. You still sell it. You can borrow money for the difference, and guess what? That will be less than 15 grand. And so even let's just say he has to borrow 14,000, and this is probably a bad example because you're not going to be an 15 on it and be 14 underwater. I guess it could get that way eventually, but usually not. Usually, like on a 15 grand, you might be 5 grand at most. So you would take out a personal loan for $5,000. You sell the car and put that personal amount of loan money with that, and you can even borrow an extra 2 grand, so that's 7 grand still. So that gets you a beater car to replace this car, and guess what's gone? This 15 grand loan. So you've lowered, and this is why loans like that are allowed by Mr. Ramsey, and encouraged actually, because it lessens the amount of your debt, and you don't have that car payment anymore. Granted, you got to pay out the other loan, but again, that still gives you progress on step 2. And about 80 grand in debt to the Department of Ed for school loans, but they're all in deferment. I've never made a payment yet, and they're all in good standing. Well, you would be paying off that too, so you'll be paying off debt for a while. So that's what beginner. Now what? Work more. If you have bought dumbass stuff with credit, sell it and pay all that debt off. They're for associate's degrees that my current job pays me more for. I currently make about $40K a year, 4 kids, they're at home, and a spouse, but he struggles to help or keep a job. Boop, boop, boop. That's not good at all, and that's another battle in itself. Indeed, itself is one word though, not 2. My bills, it should be hour, but he doesn't sound like he has his stuff together, so I kind of get it. My bills every month are almost 3 grand. How do I get out of the cycle of poverty? I'm ignorant, I know. Please just help explain in baby terms, as I come from a long line of family of poverty. Okay, well, there's no more debt happening on anything ever. Except, of course, as I say, a loan to pay off an underwater car. That kind of thing. And so, the problem is, it does take income to make the baby steps happen. And so the spouse he struggles to do that. He needs to get better at that. And you need to insist that he gets better at that. Because it's hard to work around. Let's see if there's anything else. Some big turn at the end of the question. Like a M. Night Shyamalan movie. Oh, ignorant, I know, please, in baby terms, I come. Oh, I already. Okay, I read the whole thing. I forgot. Why did I think there was more to that? Maybe just hoping. But yeah. So, and the poverty mindset, you got to get out of that, because the poverty mindset is only because of the actions that you've taken and not taken, such as insisting that the spouse stop struggling to help or keep a job. How about you go keep a job, is what I would suggest for that gentleman. So yeah, I mean, you gotta work that out first. But the idea would be to not have the savings. I get it. Marriage probably not the best. Or maybe it's great, other than he's not working, and so that makes it not great at all. So you got a lot of stuff to do here, but it is for everybody, and it's not difficult. Again, there's stuff in baby step 0 that is not here, but you could Google that, baby step 0. And it'll tell you, and that's a number of things. As I said, that's where you get your 4 walls. That's first. And of course, to get the 4 walls, to pay for the 4 walls, that requires income. So again, if you don't have a job, you get a job. That's part of baby step 0 as well. Because the baby steps don't happen without income. That's just the hard truth of it. What else did I say? Oh, then the 4 walls, of course, would be housing, food, transportation, and clothing. Clothing being in there is kind of nutty, because I mean, I know at some points you may have to buy other clothes, but how often? I mean, I know I'm an exception. I'm trying to think of the last piece of clothing that I bought. It might be, I mean, if you count shoes that were broken, that had holes in them, replace those. But I'm trying to think. Yeah, normally like shirts and stuff like that. My kids get them for me occasionally. Yeah, I'm trying to think the last time I bought. I can't even remember the last time I bought like a pair of pants, even, or shirts or anything like that. So that, but of course, you do have people that buy an article of clothing every week, and probably more females doing that. Just saying, but there's also some men's doing that too. But anyway, got sidetracked. So that's the 4 walls. My pal Sid the Kid adds internet to that 4 walls, and everything happens on the internet these days. So I'm amenable to go along with that. What else did I say? Get insurances in place. Get current on any bills you are behind in. If they're in collections, you do not get current with those. You just let things in collections sit. They go at the end of the debt, the step 2 debt list for order of payoff. And so there's some other stuff in there, I'm sure, that I'm forgetting, but you can Google it. But just watch the show. Watch the show, listen to the show. You can do that at any time, and there's thousands of hours of it on the internet. So You just, I mean, there's thousands of my content as well. So you could watch some of that stuff. Yeah, yeah. Watch me respond to these questions. And so it often brings up ways that people are misinterpreting the baby steps. And so that would be good for a beginner. Absolutely. Just kind of hanging out down the street. That's from that 70s show. 39, debt free, soon to be 40 in 1 month. 980K net worth, with goal to be 1 million by 40. Okay, and I read this last night in the preview. I preview some of the upcoming questions and just talk about them for a few seconds before ending the show. And so this was one of them, and dumb is my thing here. Now, it's not dumb that you have almost $1 million net worth. That's great. That's great. But obsessing about it to this level is not great. And so, and also, if you were going to be obsessing about it, you don't wait until the last month to try to make $20,000 more in your net worth. So guess what? That is inconsequential as far as the rest of your financial well-being. So that's great to have the goal to be 1 million. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be close to that. I mean, if you have money in the market, it's going up. This was 6 days ago, so it is up. So maybe if most of his net worth is in, or a lot of it's in retirement accounts, then he could possibly be at 1 million right now. But you don't wait till the month before it happens and then get it on there. Or maybe the person did try to get it higher. Way before the month. Maybe he'd been working on it for 6 months and he got it up to 980, but not quite 1 million. And I'm going to say this is fine and quit worrying about it. That's dumb. I understand you set a goal and you want to reach it, but you have 980, you're $20,000 short of $1 million. That's different if you are trying to save $100 and you only have 90, because the 20K difference is inconsequential between 980K and 1 million. So it's dumb. I think you're focused on the wrong stuff. Granted, people that are pretty good, well off financially, they don't have step 2 to worry about. Person's debt free, and so theoretically everything's fine, and so you don't have anything to worry about. So you make up stuff to be worried about, like this dumb crap. And so would not advise, sir, or madam. Thanks for congratulations on being the an almost millionaire, or if you are now, again, 6 days ago the market was lower, so the market itself could have gotten you over the hump by the time you are 40. And it might go back down too. Would I worry about that? No. You got to pick your battles in here. And so this is the perfect, if this person were to call the show, he would be called a humble bragger so fast if this person called the show. But this is not a problem. This is you trying to make a problem where there's not one. Negative monitor, 560, time to start living, ... I'm single, 54 man with 15-year-old. Okay. I have 529 with about 117K in it. I have $1.9 million in investments / cash and no debt, including paid off mortgage on baby step 7, but afraid to spend money. Yeah, you got to get over that. And imagine this, July 4th, landscape company is working. Imagine that. Well, I'm working too, though. I hope they get double time like I'm getting today. So fun times. We also have a fun potluck. And let's be real, I'm taking Domino's pizza. I'm not cooking anything. And why Domino's? Because it's $8 freaking dollars for a large one topping. That's why. So why would I do that? Then spend twice as much for pizza that, might be better, but it's not that much better to throw twice the money at it. So yeah, but as far as spending money, the Ramsey advice is to, once you get in financial position, and you can tell, you can tell when you can do something like go on vacation and spend a lot of money on fun, maybe even things, something some people would call dumb or evil, is step 7. And you're supposed to give a lot of what you build wealth. You give a lot of it away and you spend it. Some of it you give away as far as to other companies, like for example a cruise line company. You give some of the money to them and they let you go on the cruise and you have fun. And so go see the pyramids, go do whatever is good for you. And so, but yeah, you do have to get out of that and get out of that scarcity mindset. But some people, that just happens to them as a byproduct of doing this, because of the you got to be a miser. People think you got to be a miser, and yes, you do in steps 1, 2, and 3. But then once step 4 happens, 4, 5, and 6, then you can let off the gas a little bit. And then you can start putting more fun stuff into the budget. You're not putting it on debt. You're not going backwards. You're just not getting to step 7 as fast as you would if you didn't take vacations or something like that. So, but those things are allowed and even encouraged because you've earned it. If you've gotten to step 4, you've earned the right to put fun stuff in the budget. And so you should definitely be enjoying some of it. You've done a great job. So you gotta kind of chill. As far as the 529, the 15 kid going to school in 3 years. So, but you have cash too in addition, and maybe some of the investments aren't retirement accounts. And so you could pull from that, or you could cash flow whatever additional you needed to this 117K. I'd recommend a state school for the lad or lass. But yeah, that's coming up here. So you don't have forever, and 117K won't pay for everywhere. But yeah, I think you've addressed pretty much everything. So assuming there's it says baby step 7, so I'm going to assume no debt or anything like that. Stuck in the sky with diamond. Never seen a diamond in the flesh. Cut my teeth on wedding rings in movies. Alrighty, fun time. Where to put retirement money after 401k is maxed out. Spouse and I each contribute 15% to our employer 401k programs. Also happens to be the max that is allowed by the government. I would like to start saving more, given, I guess, our ages, mid-40s. Is opening an investment account with a mutual fund the best way to do that? Well, you can do HSA, health savings account, and just cash flow medical stuff and leave that in there to grow. You can do that. Oh, HSA is not an option. Oh, due to high medical needs, we could potentially have one spouse using HSA in the future if medical issues improve. Okay. But again, in order to use that, you have to be able to cash flow or have the money in savings already to pay for medical stuff, so it's not coming out, so it's not taking money out of the investments in the HSA. We already started paying extra to the mortgage. Should we put it all to the mortgage? Yeah, you wouldn't be doing more than 15%. I feel like, for me, that I don't care what you feel like. That's the advice. Yeah. I feel that some diversity may be better since a high percentage of our wealth is tied to our house already. Children's college funds are decently funded, but not a priority at the moment. We are over the limit to utilize Roth IRAs, unfortunately. But yes, you would do that, because guess what? Are you talking about retirement? Yeah, there's no extra retirement money until I wonder, if only the baby steps address this question. If only it did. And it doesn't tell you where to put retirement money after the 401k is maxed out. And some people would be needing to do this if they didn't hit the 15, but you're hitting the 15, maxing it out. So, let's see if the baby steps address it. Oh, look at that. Step 4, invest 15%. It doesn't say invest more, ever, here. It doesn't say anything about investing more. And the reason it doesn't is because you pay off your house early first. You do all of the above. You do step 4. You said you got children's college handled. You say it's not a priority, but maybe you're addressing it, and that's fine, especially if you have younger kids. But yeah, you pay off the home early before you invest 1 penny past the 15%. That's a NAR. That's debt leverage there. So you do not do the debt leverage. You pay off your house first. So don't financial bro me or anything like that. We're not doing that here. That is not the advice. So, and you think, some of these people seem fairly intelligent. So why is it that you can't read the baby steps and see where it actually says a number? It says 15%. It doesn't say do more than that. If you feel like it, it doesn't say that. It says 15%. So maybe, the thing is, people, if they don't want to do something, they don't pay attention to that part, basically, is what goes on here, I believe. So yeah, you could do HSA would be the option, or a non-retirement brokerage account. Just a non-tax advantage brokerage account would be another option, but again, you do not do that while you still have a mortgage. So, and most people's the majority of their net worth, at least in the beginning, when even at millionaire status, at least in the beginning at millionaire status, the house is most of the net worth, and that's fine. What is the problem with that? Yeah. That is an ad. Sarah here now. Sarah. That's a little high for me. Storms are brewing in your eyes. That's a Starship. We built this city. And also, what's the song? Oh, let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. What is that? Nothing's gonna stop us now. Okay. Should I buy a new kitchen? Did yours break? I have saved 30,000 bloody quid. Should I buy a new kitchen? No, that's not right. Or use or to pay a chuck It's chunk. Maybe they say it. Maybe they say chuck, and it's supposed to be chunk, just like they say tuna, CHUNA for tuna. Maybe, and it's just and they just say it wrong, but it is still supposed to be chunk. But maybe there it's chuck. I don't know. Off my mortgage, the kitchen currently is clean and functional, just not too much taste as it was. What? Just not much too taste as it was. I installed by previous owners. Installed, I guess. As it was installed by previous owners. Okay, guess what? Where you're living, it doesn't matter if previous owners have installed something. You don't do. Let's see. How many? 30 comments. Oh, I'll bite. I just want to see if there's more information because we got to know what baby step. If you're on baby step 2, that's a freaking no, and you shouldn't have saved up the 30,000 bloody quid. I'd hold off, paying down the mortgage. You wouldn't be doing any upgrades until the house is paid off. So that's a no. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's just see if there's anything else from the OP. There we are. Hello, I only have a mortgage, 200,000 left. I have a health pension, and I pay into my ISA. No SIP. I have 10K. Oh, that's British stuff. I have 10K emergency fund. My mortgage is fixed for 5 years. I pay $1,800 per month. No, we pay that off early. You pay that off early, even if they still get even if it's written so that they get all that interest still, you still pay it off early, and you should do that before upgrading. Need to build on your emergency fund. Oh yeah, if you only have that 60,000, what is it? Oh, the 30,000. You should have a 6-month emergency fund if you have a mortgage. So agree on that, and of course, so more emergency fund, I guess, and then also pay off the house, and then if you're not moving by that time, then you can remodel the kitchen, knock yourself out. It was fun. OP, the original poster that gets back a lot. I'm a contractor. Cash flow is inconsistent. Another reason why you don't do dumb crap. No other debt, and I have emergency fund. Is that all you have? Would you save all the above maybe for the mortgage and pay it off then? No, you don't save it and then pay it off. You pay it off as you get the money little by little. You do not lump sum pay it off. Unless, of course, you already have had that by the time you think about doing that. And hopefully, if you're following the Ramsey advice, you would think about that beforehand. What up, Sid? How is life and stuff this fine America's birthday? In the bayou. Burns, saving slowly or saving quickly? What you talking about, Burns one? I have a few things I'm currently saving up for: an unpaid vacation, a cushion for my checking account. So vacation, you better be on step 4 at least. A cushion for my checking account. Pretty much no, but you do have to have enough money to make sure you have that you can pay all the bills until you get the next check. So, like, for example, if you have rent due and you can't pay that out of one check, then you obviously have to have, a cushion from the previous check. Let's see, contributing brokerage account. So that's a no. That's a no on that. Only retirement investing until the house is paid off. So no brokerage account. That's got to be a retirement account. Do you prefer to split your extra money evenly across the 4 or just knock out one at a time? I'm on baby step 6. You can budget vacate if you're on baby step 6. That's fine. You can do sinking funds for vacation. The problem is, again, you here want to do things all at the same time, and we want to do all things all at the same time. So again, the brokerage account, if that's extra investing beyond retirement, that would be a no until the house is paid off. But you can do your unpaid vacation. That's fine. You just save up for it, and whether you save slowly or quickly, that's up to you. But as far as splitting it across I mean, you get to choose what you do. Splitting your extra monthly across it. If you're doing that, if you're also putting extra to the house, that means it's going to take longer to do each thing. If you're splitting it across 4 things, then it's going to take longer to have the money to do all the things. Of course, the paying extra on the house, any little bit does help. So, but that's up to you. But you have to set priorities on this stuff. And again, on step 4, we think you've kind of figured it out, although that is giving people too much credit, of course, because some people do get on step 4. Sid is newsflash waiting on the baby. You would think you would get used to that. You would think you get used to the waiting and just and not be a problem anymore, Sid. I'm being facetious, of course. Artums 92. Advice on savings rate with 75% pension replacement. What? I'm looking for some input on my retirement savings plan. I have a solid state pension that will replace 75% of my highest year's income when I retire, which I believe covers most of my needs. I'm still working and wondering how this changes Dave Ramsey's 15% savings rule. If you can imagine this, not one darn bit. It's still the same. So whatever you put in the pension, your contribution to the pension, guess what? Because pensions do so much worse than investing in the stock market, that contribution only counts as half. The percentage you're putting in there, you only count as half towards the 15%. So say, for example, you're putting 15% of your gross income into that pension. Guess what? That only counts for 7.5% of the 15. So you got to do another 7.5%. Sorry. I'm thinking of saving 1 to 5% of my current income instead, focusing on building a small buffer or investing for flexibility. Everything you're doing is bad. Trying to scheme and scam. All that's bad. I've already got an emergency fund. Well, you should. That is step 3, my friend. And no debt. That is step 2, my friend. So I would hope so. I also don't pay into this pension. I'll also have a pension from the National Guard based off of retirement points after 20 years, which includes 6 years of active time. Mr. Ramsey still wants you to have way more than you will need. So even if you don't have to put anything into the pension, guess what? See, because he likes you to have skin in the game. He wants you to have 15% of gross income skin in the game. So that means you have to invest all 15% in addition to your pension. So that would be the advice from him. If you care about the Ramsey advice there. But you did ask for advice and you're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. Golf Guy 4653, pay off student loans from the emergency fund. Step 1, 1K emergency fund, which is not enough to pay off student loans, probably. You don't save more to add to that fund, which I'm guessing you did. And those, of course, the opening lines from my song that I stole again from the Fray. How to do the baby steps right. And so you're doing it wrong. Let's see here. Currently debating on payoff my student loan, which totaled about $71,000. My emergency fund is currently at $90,000. So that's a no. So, no, let's just check. Let's just check. We never know. I love to do the just check bit. It's so fun. Step 1 says save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. I do not see on here where it says save an additional $89,000, you dumbass. I do not see that on there anywhere. 25K high savings account, 65K money market, which is about 9 months of expenses. I don't see that anywhere either. I say 3 to 6 months of expenses is what I see right here. So you're doing it wrong. I would love to get, about 24,000 in cash. I would love to get these loans out of my life. That's so funny because Mr. Ramsey would love that too. That's why he made that step 2. And step 1 is only $1,000 so that you could do that more quickly, you dumbass. What a dumbass. My goodness. But also don't want to feel broke and worried I don't have enough in my emergency fund. Any advice from those that have been through a similar situation? Thanks. Quit being a dumbass. Oh my goodness gracious me. Alrighty, and so that'll be it for the show today, almost. I'll be doing my plugs, and you want to stay tuned for that. But let's preview some questions for the next stream, which will be Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Fewer appearances of me on the YouTube next week, just because the way the schedule worked out. I believe only 1 or 2 days. Definitely Monday. I can't remember. We'll see on the... Oh, no, I didn't update it yet. Sorry. Oh, let me check really quickly, or we'll pull it up now. Check my schedule. I forgot. If you can imagine, the old man forgot to... change the crawl there with the upcoming times. There we are. Okay, so I'll be ready for that, so I can give correct notifications of that. Mortgage woes. What's more woes? I don't know. Can't see nothing jumping out at me that would be a woe. Need some motivation. 43, 41, I have 1 kid, 156K left on the mortgage, no other debt. How about we just want to get to step 7? That's some good motivation. How about to eat, regardless of how well off you are financially, how about you get more well off? Because apparently you can still be more well off by having a paid off house. And the paid off house is, I think, underrated as far as something that will help in retirement. Everybody's like, oh, you invest more in retirement, not pay off your house because of the interest rate, blah, blah, blah. Not having to pay rent or a mortgage payment in retirement, you don't think that helps immensely? How many months emergency fund where income is base plus commission? It would be 6 months. Unless you have a specific floor, unless it fluctuates so much, and then you would address that by having a Hill and Valley account, which I guess could be, it's not really an emergency fund. It's specifically to address the low months. And so, especially if you know in advance when that is, like in winter, if it's lower, you got to have enough money to get you through the time. So you can have a Hill and Valley account. And of course that would mean the Hill is where you make more money, and then in the low times, that's the Valley. So that's why that's called a Hill and Valley account, right, Sid? Sid is pretty used to it. There's just not much else to do at this point, right? Well, that's why people start thinking about all kinds of different ways to change the baby steps, and they start obsessing and being too focused on higher baby steps when they're supposed to be in baby step 2. And so really, unless you're working or doing a budget, cutting things out of the budget, or something like that, as far as towards the baby steps and making your finances better, you can't do that much. And that's when some people start going to overthink mode and then say, well, how can I make these baby steps better? Newsflash, you can't. 150K personal injury settlement, and this probably falls into the general advice, which is any extra money you get from anywhere, you will not believe where it goes. It goes to whatever baby step you're on. And so a lot of people don't like the baby steps because of that, because for old people, you start at everybody starts at step 1, no matter how old you are. Actually, step 0, but, as far as this list here, step 1. For everybody, whether you're 18 or you're 90, and you're starting the Ramsey advice, you start at step 1. And that's how it works. There's no special things for special groups of people. And people are mad about that because they all want to be snowflakes. And their little situation is different. It's not. So that would be it. Doubling down. What are we doing? Not even. It doesn't jump off the page there. What to do next? Probably the next baby step, I'm guessing. But we'll get all into that on Sunday night is the next appearance of me on the YouTube. And that would be 8 p.m. in the Answering Your Financial Questions stream. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you've got money problems, or you just want to, make sure you're on the right track and not being dumb, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at No, you can't. You have to email me now because I got tired of changing the availability on there. So yes, you just email me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. You can also use that email address for any questions about anything on my YouTube channel, anything about financial coaching, anything about finances at all. Again, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Look, it's right there, and it's in the ticker below. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. CashApp donations can be sent to $Coach Steve Money. It was not taken. Or you can do a Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, the Ramsey Show, Aftershow show. And this is probably not going to be up to date here. Let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, because I forgot to change it. This work thing really cuts into my downtime where I would normally have done that stuff. But I still forgot to do things even when I had more time. 8 p.m. This is correct. 8 p.m. Eastern Sunday, the first weekend of July. That's this week. Yeah, so let's see what else here. Monday morning will be an after show because I am off that day, off Sunday and Monday this week. Tuesday will be an after show. And again, that's at this time. Starts approximately 11:07 a.m. 1 o'clock. Can I do that? Maybe an after show Wednesday, because I don't start work till 1 o'clock, so I could probably stream till 12. Yeah, I could do that probably. So probably Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for after show. So I'll be on it more than I thought. And then Thursday too? But not Friday. So Friday, if there's a stream, that would be at 8 p.m. because I'm working 9 to 5. And then maybe another Saturday, the 12th, 8 p.m. stream. And next week I'm off Sunday, so probably an 8 p.m. stream that night on the 13th, and I'm off Wednesday, so there'll definitely be an after show Wednesday. Looks like probably Monday the 14th as well. Wednesday the 16th. 15th is out. Maybe a 8 p.m. stream. So anyway, I'll put this on the thing. When am I? It'll be on Sunday nights. This coming Sunday nights. Answering your financial questions stream. And then you'll know. Bell DeVoe, then you'll know. A good way to tell when there's going to be an after show is if I'm in the chat. Sometimes, though, I will just drop by for a few minutes. Like on my way to work or something like that. Or before getting ready. But I don't have time for the whole thing. Or to do a show. Alright. Thanks so much, everybody. Dolly does not approve. Dolly does not approve. You're gonna have to explain that to me, Sid. If that's something I said, how many minutes ago? Only 1 minute ago? I don't remember what it was. Something with Dolly Parton? Yeah, we'll just hang out for a second. While we wait for Sid. What can I talk about while I wait for Sid to answer that? Oh, working 9 to 5, duh. Oh my goodness, I am so ashamed that I did not put that together, Sid. That's a song, of course, by Dolly Parton. 9 to 5, and of course that was the original title for My Baby Takes the Morning Train. But then they said, oh, this Dolly Parton person already has one like that. So then they had to call it Morning Train and then in parentheses 9 to 5. So yeah, Sid likes it when she catches me in a bout of hashtag dementia. Obviously it's not dementia, it's just being old or, and having a bad memory, which that doesn't have anything to do with being old. I probably had a bad memory when I was younger as well. Alrighty, again, happy birthday, America, and so happy birthday to all of us, and even you British. No hard feelings over that. Hopefully you don't have any either. Greetings from the colonies as always, and as always, no matter where you are, whether you won the Revolutionary War or you lost it or you weren't even involved in it, always make smart financial decisions every single day.